lives of great men all remind us we can make our life sublime and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Hello my dear children, I welcome you on this teaching line session. I welcome the students of NTCC High School. My dear children, in this session I would like to discuss about a beautiful poem composed by a great noted poet Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore. My dear children, the poem entitled here, Where the Mind is Without Fear. Where the mind is without fear. So, Where the Mind is Without Fear has been composed by Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore. The poet is here Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore, and this poem has been written in free verse. The poet has not used any rhyme scheme here. And I would like to come into the fourth point. As I have explained to you, first point that the poem is here, Where the Mind is Without Fear. Second point, that the poet is Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore. And third point, the rhyme scheme is not here. It has been written in free verse. So, no rhyming words have been used here. Fourth point is here the central idea of the poem. What does the poet wants to say here? This is the most important point that we have to discuss in the critical analysis here. Now you see, firstly let me read the poem here. Where the mind is without fear, and the head is held high, and where the knowledge is free, and the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Where words come out from the depth of the truth. Where the words come out from the depth of the truths, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. Into the dreary, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, into the dreary desert sand of the dead habits, where the mind is led forward by thee into every widening thought, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So, my dear children, Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore has written this poem as a prayer. This poem had been written before the independence, when our country was under the British rule. In fact, as you know, Dr. Rabindrandranath Tagore was the first person who had got Nobel Prize in Literature from India for his book Gitanjali. Gitanjali had been written in 1910. That too also in Bangla. In the Bangla language it was written, and this Gitanjali had been converted into English in 1912, and W.B. Yeats, a poet from England who had recognized him for his poem, for his book Gitanjali, and he had been given the Nobel Prize. So this is also one of the prominent poems before independence here, and he's telling where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. He is praying to God. This is the prayer that he has done from God. Oh God. And he wants to say that how will our country be after the independence? how our country should be after the independence. When India gets freedom, which type of country he wants to dream, he wants to imagine. So he is praying to God, oh God, our country should be there where their mind is without fear. The people should be fearless. Nobody should have fear for anything. And the head is held high. And everybody should get the respect. Everybody should have dignity. Everybody should be given the respect from everyone. Everybody can move anywhere with high dignity. And he should have not any fear. His mind should not have any fear. The head should be held high. Means they should not go before anyone. They should not bend down before anyone. Where knowledge is free. Knowledge is free means the education should be imparted freely and it should be access to everyone. There should be access of the knowledge or education to everyone. And the knowledge should not be forced by anyone. As you know that time India was under the British rule. So India was getting the problem from the British. They used to impose their rules and regulations everywhere. So he wants to say that we should not be forced, our knowledge should be free and education should be imparted to everyone in this country, and where the world has not been broken up into fragment. You see, he wants to say that our country should be in such a way that where the world means our country. It has been compared, this is metaphor here, the world has been compared to this country and to fragments. Fragments means different kinds of differentiation, discrimination, racial discrimination, caste system. It should not be broken. It should not be divided into different components like racial discrimination, caste system, religion, or languages. So that it should not be into narrow domestic war. It should not be divided into narrow-mindedness. People should have wide spectrum. They should give respect to everyone in this country. And where words come out from the depth of the truths, and everybody should be truthful. Every word the people speaks should be truthful. Nobody should tell a lie, and everybody should have respect for everyone. Where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. And the people should be hardworking. They should work tirelessly and they should stretch their arms. They should work in such a way that they should get the perfection. So the poet wants that everybody should move towards the perfection. They should not do anything half-heartedly. They should work for the perfection of the country, that where the clear stream of region has not lost its way. Here you see the clear stream. How can we see the clear stream? What does it mean? Stream means river. You can see the water of the river very clearly when it is not polluted. So he wants to say that clear stream, bottom of the water is very clear. Like that, we should be very clear with our logic. Reason means logic. Has not lost its way. So we should be logical, we should be rational, we should have scientific temperament. We should think everything experimentally determined. Everything should be put into test. We should not believe without having any logic. We should not believe in the superstitious. People should be very logical. They should test the thing that they should believe. So the poet wants to clear that people should be very, very much logical, rational, and they should not lose their logic anyway. Every time they should put the logic and they should believe on this. And into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. So what does the poet wants to say here? Dreary desert sand. Here, dreary desert means dry place where the clear stream is not found in those days. When India was under suppression with all the social evils like racial discrimination, caste system, etc. So this implies to dreary desert which is dry. So here the poet wants to say that which is the dry desert, dry place where the water is not flowing, and that too also of dead habits. Dreary desert of sand, dreary desert sand of dead habits. What does a dead habit means here? Dead habits means all those our old systems, customs and rituals which we are dragging, and we don't follow the clear rational ideas. Without any logic we are following all those old habits, bad habits, which the poet wants to remove from the country. He wants that everybody should have good habits, everybody should think logically. And where the mind is led forward by thee, he is again praying to God. Oh God, our country's man should have that type of mind. We should be forward-minded. And he is praying to God that put the mind forward of our country and into every widening thoughts. So people should have wide thought, wide spectrum, wide ideas. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So first he has prayed to God. What did he pray? He prayed to God that our country should be, my countrymen should have forward-minded, countrymen should be forward-minded and with widening thought and action. They should have wide spectrum. They can think very broadly. They should not have narrow-mindedness. They should not be narrow-mindedness. And what else? Into that heaven of freedom. So the poet is telling that we want the country which is have heavenliness of full freedom, and Father, let my country awake. So here he has also personified the country here, that our country should be like heaven. Our country should be like heaven, and we should feel heavenliness in that country where the country is not divided into any fragments. Now let me tell you children, what are the poetic devices here used here. As I have told you, the figure of speech is here. First you see that head is head high. Head is head high is here, alliteration is here. Because H letter has been repeated here. H sound is repeated here. And as I have told you, that word has not been broken into fragments. This is metaphor also here, because the country has been compared with the world, and so this is implied simile here. So this is metaphor, and fragments means it should fragments by narrow domestic walls. Here narrow domestic walls means narrow-mindedness. It should not be divided into caste, creeds and religions. And striving stretches its arm. This is personification, because it has been personified here that domestic walls like caste, creed and religion. So let me conclude my speech कि मिटा सके जमाने से जो नफरतों का चिराग, मिटा सके जमाने से जो नफरतों का चिराग, अपने जिगर में वो एहसास पैदा कर, वतन आज याद करता है उन शहीदों को, जमाने हिंद पर टैगोर और सुभाष पैदा कर, टैगोर और सुभाष पैदा कर। जय हिंद, जय भारत।